Martin Mayhew. He was the co-vice president of player personnel along with Adam Peters on the Niners. He is gone. He is now the Washington football team's general manager. He had been the general manager with the Lions. I always looked at him as kind of like John Lynch's, I don't know.
Right-hand guy.
Your right-hand guy. It's like, I've never done the job. You've done it. Tell me make sure I don't do anything stupid, right?
He's super smart, super polished, super clean.
Experienced, very good.
Right.
And so now he's gone. And the Niners get a third-round comp pick in return. And my question to you is his loss going to hurt the Niners, or is it no big deal?
I mean, he's a smart guy, and he's a pretty solid executive. So from that standpoint, technically, should it hurt the 49ers? Yeah, but I don't want to diminish who he is, and because I think he was a good hire for Washington, and I think it's a good thing they got him because I think he's pretty good at what he does. I think he's been good for the 49ers, but I don't think he's going to make a difference just the way I didn't think Adam Peters leaving a week ago or 2 weeks ago when we had that conversation was going to make a difference, because I just think that fans oftentimes just attach themselves to certain names within the organization and think that they're making this large impact, when ultimately I think it's really Kyle Shanahan's show. And I think it's really Kyle Shanahan who's going to make decisions on who they sign in free agency. I mean, you look at Quan Alexander, his best games as a Buck were against Kyle Shanahan's offense. I mean, and he was phenomenal in those games. So guess who they signed in free agency? Quan Alexander. It's stuff like that where you just think, ultimately, regardless of what Martin Mayhew thinks, because I'm sure he has strong opinions and I'm sure he has great opinions, the 49ers decision-making process starts and ends with Kyle Shanahan, which is ultimately going to make whoever they lose or whoever they get not hurt them that much, because Kyle was the one making decisions anyway before, and Kyle's going to continue to make decisions.
Now, the way I look at Kyle, the way when he first got here, is that he would have loved to be the offensive coordinator, head coach, GM, and vice president. He would have loved to do it. Yes, I mean, and he thinks he can do it. And he's basically saying, okay, while I'm willing to do all the jobs, I understand that it would look bad. So let's hire, a GM who lets me do what I want to do. And let's hire some people. Let's hire the bare minimum of people we need. Because if it were up to me, I'd do the whole thing myself. And so John Lynch was like a necessity. Martin Mayhew was a necessity. And I'm sure Kyle likes them, but at the same time, he'd prefer to just do it all himself. He trusts himself. So now he went to the Super Bowl, got his extension. And the way I always interpreted that was he just got more power in the organization. When he was 37 or however he was when he got hired, he only had so much he could get. Now at 40, after coming off a Super Bowl appearance, he has more. And that's bad news for John Lynch, bad news for pretty much everyone in the organization not named Kyle Shanahan. And I'm not surprised that a guy like Mayhew might look at that and be like, yeah, it's probably time for me to go somewhere else, or I might actually have some say. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if John Lynch did something like that eventually too.
So someone in the comments says, do I have specific? No, I don't have specific information suggesting Peters is not valuable. It's not to say Peters and Mayhew aren't very good at what they do. Let's just say they're excellent at what they do.
They have input.
Ultimately the NFL is all about who makes the decisions. And in the 49ers, I'm pretty confident. And I think every person who knows who's talked about them says it's Kyle Shanahan who makes those decisions. And so if Kyle Shanahan's making those decisions, as much as valuable as Martin Mayhew might be, as valuable as Adam Peters might be, they're not going to change anything because Kyle was making the decisions when they were there, and Kyle's going to continue to make the decisions. So the right decisions are going to be attributed to Kyle, and the wrong ones are likely going to be attributed to Kyle.
So maybe the Niners scouting won't be as good. Maybe what Mayhew's value was, what he would say, hey, why don't you check out these players? And then Kyle would pick what would make the decision. Maybe the list that's being presented to Kyle won't be as good. Maybe, who knows? But I don't think much is going to change with the Niners. And the fact that they got a comp pick back is good. So I think they're probably, I'm just guessing, but I'm probably thinking they're pretty happy they lost Martin Mayhew, with all things considered. And maybe they're wrong, because they were happy they kept Jimmy Garoppolo last year, and that didn't work out so good. So I don't know. Maybe losing Martin Mayhew will hurt, and Mayhew will get the last laugh. I'm eager to see what he does with Washington. It seems like they've been making good decisions the last year or so.
Looks like they're just trying to rebuild what Rivera had in Carolina with Marty Hurney, Ron Rivera, maybe bring in Cam Newton.
Well, he's a solid coach, Ron. You could do much worse than Ron Rivera. I think he's what maybe Robert Saleh could become, maybe.